And we're rolling. Hello. So it is Monday. What's the date today? It's May 27th, 2019, and here is your reading. So to repeat the question, you were recently left by your partner of 15 years, and now you're thinking about going back to work and maybe moving away from where I'm at, but would it be okay if it was just whether I should start? So you want to focus on the new career, basically. And that new career is about starting an online call-in business for counseling and tarot intuitive reading. And you want to know if it's going to be successful or not. So let's get started. The 9-digit number that you provided for me, I translated that into 2 different numbers to pick these 2 cards for you. One number was 45 and the other number was 9. So if 45 and 9 mean something special to you, like someone's birth year, a birth month, whatever, just keep that in mind as we do the reading. So this was card 45, that was card number 9. The tarot card that I picked for you, I like to leave to the end. I like to sum up the reading with that. So I'm going to push this to the side. And then the oracle card that I drew for you, I like to use to set the tone for the reading. This deck is it's a mix of 2 different decks. It's the Goddesses and Sirens and Gods and Titans decks from, the artist is Jimmy Manton, who's my favorite oracle card artist, and the deck author is, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank, Stacey DeMarco. Stacey DeMarco. So the card that you got, oh, interesting, Irresistibility. This is Freya, Irresistibility. I think this is a great card for a career-oriented reading because to me, Irresistibility is all going to be about your ability to really attract clients, trying to attract the clients that you want. People will really want your services and come flock to them. So really positive card to start off a reading about a career shift. So that's really cool. So I'm going to draw some cards for you from tarot now. All right, so let's just kind of see generally what's going on here. Oh, okay. You know what? This is weird. I was reading at a tarot festival on Saturday, and I believe someone got these same 3 cards as their thing. But that's what I think you're a tarot reader, so you know how that resonance happens. That's screwed up, but you know it. So anyway, for me, the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands, I always like to compare it to the 2 of Wands. So the 2 of Wands is like can be the analysis paralysis card where you're thinking about something so long you're not ready, you never get anywhere. It can also just be a phase of planning. And so after the 2 of Wands, we have the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is where you take all of the stuff you've been planning and you set it into motion. The person, if you look at the way the wands are arranged, they've kind of stepped through them like they're a gate, and there's 3 ships on the water, so whatever endeavor is being sought here, you know, the ships have set sail and they're seeking their fortune and whatnot. So I feel like this question, I would say that you've kind of already laid the foundation to get this business going. Tell me if that's true or not, but you are ready to set things in motion, I'm getting from this card. So that's really awesome, given the nature of the question. A Page of Pentacles, I kind of read these as sort of like a what's been going on, what's about to go on. So Page of Pentacles is a beginner. It is a debutante, can be a messenger, student, someone who's like learning, someone who's just starting off with something. And so Pentacles are, for me, the suit of the material realm, right? So everything in your life that is from putting a roof over your head, feeding yourself, clothing yourself, all the things that make that possible. So that's livelihood as well, and career. This is career as it pertains to the ability to earn money, rather than career as it relates to like your passion, your desires and stuff, like maybe the thing that you would do even if you didn't get paid for it. So The page is it's a beginner and it's starting out. And to me, I don't know if you've done this kind of work in the past, but it sounds to me like, there's a definite beginning aspect to what you're doing in terms of livelihood. So that could speak to the fact that what you're doing is new right now, but it could also speak to the fact that maybe you've never, or it's been ages since you've had a livelihood, right? Or had to earn your own livelihood. It sounded from your question that since you've been in a relationship, maybe you were working inside the home rather than outside the home. You were not maybe a breadwinner in terms of bringing income into the household. So I think that might be what that is referring to, and that's a really good. This mix of suits in the foundation is really awesome because you've got like the earning. You've got the earning and the livelihood and the making yourself materially stable in terms of the pentacles, and you've got the passion aspect of what you're doing is the wands in the first one. So I think the very idea that that you're starting with, that you've just started to explore, is about the passion inside of you. And in alignment with your will as well. So I really like that. So to have this mix of wands and pentacles, this is really super positive. Now, as we progress, the King of Pentacles, kings in the court are they're rulers, they're authoritarians, they are masters of their craft, and they rule with authority. They have masculine energy, so they're very active. They can make things happen. So if you're headed from the stage of a beginner and the direction that you're headed is the King of Pentacles, so the King of Pentacles is someone who fully has control over their livelihood, the material realm, and all of that. And they are successful. And kings are not usually poor, right? There's no reversals here. So there's no... because I read reversals as blocked energy. There's no energy being blocked here, which I really like. So I feel like we're getting a really positive read just from the get-go on this business. So let me draw a few more cards for you, because this is like really quick because we're getting such clear, I usually don't get such clear positive answers to questions. So I think there's definitely something here for you, like in terms of will it be successful? In terms of that is your concern, will it be successful? So I'm going to pull two cards to look at specifically at success. I want to look at success from the perspective of how fulfilled you feel, like the success meaning like the non-tangible success, right, of the business. And then I want to look at the monetary success, fiduciary success, all of that. So let me pull two more cards. So okay, so this one was for fulfillment, and then this one is for the financial. So financial looks awesome, okay? It might take a while, though. The Empress, to me, is a card of fecundity, it's literally pregnancy in a lot of the definitions. So if you're pregnant with an idea, it's something that you're going to give birth to. So, however, to make a baby, to use the pregnancy metaphor, it takes time, right? You can't make a baby faster than in 9 months. You can't have 9 women making a baby in 1 month, right? It just takes 9 months. So I think the financial success is there for you, but it is the message behind this card is telling you it'll take a while, right? And that's also borne out in the wheat that we see in the card. The wheat, when you plant seeds, it takes time for the plant to grow, and then it takes time for the plant to mature, and then it needs to become ripe for harvest. And all of those things take time. So I see really good prospects for prosperity here, monetarily in terms of the business, but it will take some time. That's kind of the thing that comes part and parcel of the Empress for me when I read. And let's see. So the fulfillment aspect, I'm going to say, I think there's like two aspects to the fulfillment aspect, since we got the Five of Swords. So swords are all about the mind, intellect, mental energy, the mental plane, and there's two main definitions I use for the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is the winners and losers cards. So I feel like there's always a bittersweetness to this card for me. They don't ring quite as this one doesn't ring quite as positive as the other cards that we've drawn so far. So I think in the terms of just being a fulfilling career, there's going to be some ups and downs, and there's going to be like there's going to be light and shadow, if you know what I mean, because of the winners and losers aspects of this card. So I feel like in terms of fulfillment, there might be, say, like the winner and loser aspect could be something like, okay, you're really happy with the career, but you've had to give something up, right? So it could be that, oh, well, I have this now I have a career that's fulfilling, but I no longer get to spend as much time with my children, or I no longer get to spend as much time, I don't know, maybe you're an elaborate cook or something like that, and you spend a lot of time doing that, but you're gonna have to give that up in order to do this business pursuit, right? So that's like, that would be the aspect of, there's the winner, like new career, but then the loser would be these other things that you've been using your time for, where, where that time that you had available because you weren't pursuing a career. And I would say that that could cause swords for me. When sword energy gets excessive, I always look at that as anxiety or depression and stuff. So there could be like a sense of loss, some sort of anxiety. It could be like maybe the secondary aspect of this card could be like that there's going to be some stress for you, right? So there's going to be the feeling fulfilled. However, it may create some stress. So that dichotomy, I think, is what's coming up in this card for you. Since this is kind of like a wishy-washy sort of like, well, I don't want to say wishy-washy. It's got a little bit lackluster compared to all of the other cards. I want to draw a clarification card. Let's see, so what's all this? So this card is going to be like, what's the winning and losing about? Oh, okay. So yeah, I think it was where I was going with the anxiety, right? So this is the Ten of Swords. So this is, this is another mental plane, thought plane sort of card. And this is when, you get mental exhaustion, right? It's the mental exhaustion, it's kind of the conclusion of a cycle where you are just spent, right? Mentally exhausted. And the good news, however, is you can see by the yellow in the background is that there's a new dawn on the horizon, right? So a new cycle will start and things will start anew for you, which is always a positive. I mean, every card to me has a positive and a negative aspect. So there's the waiting with the Empress is the negative aspect. So here, the positive aspect would be the fact that, okay, you're going to figure out the whole balance thing eventually, but it looks like you might have to just become thoroughly exhausted at some point, or become mentally spent, or just kind of at your wit's end. There's going to be some sort of, this whole winners and losers thing, something's going to come to a head at some point for you, and it's going to like really make you feel depleted and whatever. You may have to reach out for help. So I think that was the right direction in terms of like something like stress. Also, there's like there's the exhaustion aspect could be exhaustion of your time. And that could be the whole, what did you give up to make this happen? So I would be really cautious here in terms of, I hate the term self-care that everybody uses these days, because I feel like they use it in a way, basically to excuse sort of like, as an apology to just do whatever the hell you want. So I want to stress that, like, I feel like the solution to this would be self-care in a meaningful way, right? Self-care in a meaningful way, meaning like asking for help when you need it, not like getting your nails done and pampering yourself self-care that you see like on Facebook, where in memes and stuff like that. Meaningful self-care, asking for help, caring for family, or advice in doing the business, or if there's aspects of the business that you suck at, right? And so there's two people in this card that are defeated, right? So if there's going to be wins and loss and wins and defeat here, be on the lookout for something about running a business where you may feel defeated. And I would say that those defeats, if you keep pursuing those defeats, that's what's going to bring you to this like level of mental exhaustion. So if it means that, you don't understand how to keep the books. You don't understand how to manage accounts or do the accounting and the bookkeeping, right? That would be like the thing where if you try to do it yourself, it will exhaust you. And when it may be that you really, that's something you need to ask for help for or receive training in. Maybe you can do it yourself, but you need to go to like a website like Udemy or, whatever, just find help in the stuff that, is not going well for you. Yeah, this reading is going so fast. And you know what? This is going way faster than normal readings for me. And I have a hunch for some reason it's because you are an intuitive tarot reader as well, that like it's just like hopping along. So, I'm just going to draw one more card for you. I'm going to draw an advice card for you. Actually, no, I'm going to draw two. I'm going to draw this one and this one. Two advice cards for you. Okay, so the Chariot and the Generosity card. So these are both reversed. So these are your two first reversals. So there's some blocked energy here. Okay. You know what? This is actually not, okay, this came up and it's not about the main topic. You had said something in your question about, all you said was the phrase like maybe moving away. So what I'm going to go with for the Chariot is that, you're being told it's not time to move. And that makes some sense, right? Because if you're going to be starting a new business, if you're going to be upsetting your life with a move, that's a lot to handle. And we already saw that just with the career, there's like this whole mental exhaustion, anxiety, that sort of stuff that can happen over here. It could be depression, whatever, mental blues you might be susceptible to could be coming up here, or it could just be stress, something more mundane. Since you already have this to deal with, adding a move on top of things, I think the cards are telling us that maybe it's not the best time to move right now. Or if you're going to be moving, do that, but hold off on this a little bit. So I think this is more of a cautionary advice card here. And I think likewise, this one totally resonates over here with the fulfillment side of the business venture, which is, we've got the Generosity card here that's been reversed. So there's blockage around generosity. So it could be that this is a time to be more fiscally conservative, since we've got blocked energy around that. It could be too that these could be harmonizing in the fact that, the expense of the move, the expense to move could conflict with the expense of starting up a new business, having to do all of any startup fees, like paying for a website, paying for business cards, paying for blah, 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 to start up your new business. I think it's like a time, you're being warned that this is not the time to be generous. So basically it's saying be conservative, right? Don't move to a new place. Don't rush for, even if we just look at the kind of the meaning of the more metaphoric meaning of the Chariot, where just forward motion. This is maybe not the time to move too quickly. This is not the time to be too flush with your cash. And so, yeah, the advice, largely cautionary here. But the business itself looks amazing. So I think this is overall really great news for you. Let's look at the card that I put aside. This is the card that your number drew. Let's see what ties everything together for you. Oh, so we've got another sword here. Let me see, we've got the 5, the 7, and the 10, and it's reversed. So, okay, so something, I feel that the card that your number pulled, and let's see, the number 9 pulled this card. So if this is a person, is there a person in your life where the number 9 immediately resonates for them because that's their birth month, the day of the month on which they were born, or, not, I don't know, whatever, 9 close family members, you get the deal. Their address could be 9. Think about who this could be, but this is the deception card, right? Again, all cards have a light and a dark side for me. So like you can look at this two ways, right? There's the aspect like this guy's stealing swords, right? And if you look in the background, it's clearly in some sort of army encampment because there's like a fire, an armed person next to the fire. So this person could be, just stealing weapons from the enemy. He could be stealing back something that was stolen from him in the first place, right? So this could actually be an act that's totally justified. Okay, but most of the time this comes up as in a more negative reading. You know, if this is about a relationship, it's about having been cheated on, right? So the fact that this is coming up in the advice cards, or sorry, at the end, you know, after we've had these negative advice cards, I'm wondering if there's someone that you need to worry about who's going to be working against you in terms of your endeavor here. And yeah, I don't think you gave me any other information so that I would know like where to go with that. But I would say that yeah, the card that you drew is just cautionary. Look for some sort of deception and deceit, or look for someone who's trying to sabotage you, even if they're not doing it consciously. You know, just someone who might be like, let's say that you have a parent and your parent is like, you should be doing something secure, and I'm going to pray that you get a normal job like a bank teller. And they're kind of, you know, like they're maybe like working against you a little bit in terms of like prayer or just anything. Like, I'm going to pray that you get a job as a bank teller, or I'm going to pray that you get something that's super secure and like, you know, super mundane, and that would just be like, ugh, to you, right? It could be something like that. It could be someone literally working against you in a more active way. I don't like to over dramatize like some people do. I tend to think that, you know, people dramatize a little too much in tarot, but yeah, just be on the lookout for that. So let's see, is there anything else I want to say? I don't think so. This was really interesting. So let me know how it goes with your business, and I hope this reading was really helpful for you, and thanks for the opportunity to read for you.